Abseiling down the escarpment was quite easy, but an absolute nightmare trying to get out again. The crumbly rock that was a nuisance during the abseil is an absolute drama to try and climb back out, and very dangerous.
It's not far to the top, but we can't quite make it. It's too steep, and that crumbly rock turns every foothold into a treacherous trap. Steve takes the long way around to where a crevice gives him the support he needs to get back to the top.
Wow! Wait on. Okay. Right, mate. Okay. Ready? And up. Yep. Gets it up. Use your feet. Use your feet.
You got me?
Yep. Up. Use your legs, babe. Use your legs.
I'm trying, I can't.
Use your legs.
I can't.
That's it.
We head further along what used to be the inland sea. We're heading to the Diamantina.
Wow, here's a flock of red-tailed black cockatoos. Aboriginal legend has it that fire first came from the red tail of these black cockies.
It seems more and more likely that birds are among the closest living relatives of dinosaurs, possibly direct descendants.
In fact, some paleontologists are starting to think about whether some dinosaurs actually had feathers that evolved for warmth rather than flight.
That's not so far-fetched. The same substance that makes up the scales of reptiles is found in the feathers of birds.
It's fascinating to think that birds are the dinosaurs that did not die. When you arrive at the Diamantina gate, the sign tells you in no uncertain terms that you must be well prepared to travel through. In this country, if you make a mistake, you're dead.
These mesas stand silent watch over an ever-changing land. It's an unforgiving part of the world, but it's worth the effort to see the strange formations left behind by the receding inland sea of an age long gone. We've decided to investigate the more inaccessible mesas. Most fossils are found in riverbeds or along rock outcroppings, anywhere rock has been washed away or exposed. Exploring these mountains is going to be difficult, but Steve loves a challenge.
Well, this looks like about the spot. So as I go up, just move out of the way because there could be a few rocks coming down.
Okay. Careful. This part really makes me angry. Steve never listens to me. We've come up nearly 100 meters of grueling climb. He's got about 30 meters to go, and it's getting too risky. But the guy's focused. He won't listen to me, and he's determined to finish the climb. Then I realize there comes a point where you're committed. Steve's either going to have to finish the climb, or it's a one-way trip down.
At this point, reality struck home. I'd almost bitten off more than I could chew. Far too hairy a climb.
I'm just gonna go around the side here and meet you down here. While I took the safer path around the base of the hill, Steve checked out the top for any evidence of dinosaurs.
The view is certainly worth the climb. I'm looking down at what once was the inland sea from the best vantage point for hundreds of kilometers.
It's only from above that you can truly appreciate what happened here millions of years ago. You can see where the sea contracted into a series of lakes and rivers, and then where it shrank even further to smaller streams and waterholes.
This stark landscape was the bottom of what was once a huge inland sea.
Which is probably why finding dinosaur evidence is so difficult here in Australia. Because of the large amount of water, dinosaurs often sunk to the bottom of the sea and were buried under millions of years of mud and silt.
If only we could unlock the secrets that are contained underneath this earth.
We've arrived at Lark Quarry, one of the world's most important dinosaur sites, now protected from the elements by a steel building.
It's the world's only known dinosaur stampede, a network of ancient dinosaur footprints, from little ones the size of chooks right up to some of the biggest carnivores that ever lived on the continent. This is one of Australia's large meat-eating dinosaurs, going back about 100 million years.
This area was first discovered in the 1960s by 3 opal miners. At that time period, mining was done by hand, not machine, so the area was well preserved. About 10 years later, the Queensland Museum went ahead and preserved the area for the public, and now we can all enjoy the highest concentration of dinosaur fossilized footprints in the world.
What we have here is right out there was a huge big lake and about 300 little dinosaurs ranging from about a chook up to an ostrich size. They were grazing out on that lake. A large carnosaur, a large meat-eating dinosaur, came in and tried to trap them to eat them. And they fled. They stampeded up towards the hill there on a muddy bank. And as they got scared and they fled, whammo, grabbing them and eating them.
Conditions had to be absolutely perfect in order to preserve these footprints. After they were made, the area went through a long dry period and the mud turned into like concrete. Then the floods came in, the silt covered the area, and then rock began to form. We've got layers of sandstone above the footprints, and this has been preserved this way for about 100 million years.
And now that we've exposed it, it is open to the elements. And perhaps in several hundred years, it could deteriorate if it's left as it is. What we've got here is the perfect depiction of a dinosaur stampede, which concretes the evidence of dinosaurs in this country. We have to preserve it.
Oh my God, are you okay?
I think so.
As it turned out, that bad luck on the slippery slope was a bit of good luck at the bottom. We would later discover that we had literally stumbled into a fossil field.
People have walked past hundreds of rocks and have never recognized them as fossils or dinosaur evidence. This is exactly what we've been looking for. This is the evidence of the dinosaurs that we've been chasing. Perfect, perfect. You can see these footprints. Look at the size of that toe there. And look at these ones.
Yeah, do you want to just hand me that one right there? If you'll notice with these footprints from the side, you can see they're raised. So what had actually happened is when the animal stepped down and left a footprint in the mud, the silt filled in over the top, hardened into rock, and finally broke away. And now we have the opposite of a footprint, a raised imprint in the rock. So while the footprint is like the negative, this is like a mold or the other side, as it's a raised footprint. This one is also raised, and you can even see some toes here. There were other footprints formed which is broken off. So again, this is the opposite of what you get from the indentation. It's lifted off and has been found here.
You can see prints there. Here's a toe mark there. You can virtually see the pads, like the fingerprint. You can imagine the thumbprint is almost obvious in that toe there. And there's another toe there. Probably came running through here.
We were thrilled to have finally been rewarded for all our searching. The fossils and those remarkable footprints in petrified sand have given scientists a few meager clues as to how Australia's unusual wildlife evolved and what it was like here 100 million years ago.
And so very little is known for sure. Even if they find 100 Lark Quarries and the bones of 1,000 extinct giants, all we can ever do is make educated guesses at what really went on when dinosaurs roamed down under. Animals have dominated this planet for hundreds of millions of years.
And yet man has only been here for about 1 million years and is already the dominant species.
It's up to us to protect and preserve the wildlife that we still have,
So that future generations are not left with only footprints.
The greatest adrenaline pump of all. The biggest animal in the zoo in full glory. And it's only in slow motion that we can fully appreciate the awesome strike power of a 16-foot male saltwater crocodile. He's big, he's huge, he's black, and because he's that big, you make the mistake of thinking he's gonna be slow. No way! He's fast as greased lightning and as dangerous as any creature in the world. Acco is big, powerful, and so dominant that he prefers a head-on attack instead of relying on the usual crocodilian cunning. What a weapon! All of the big male crocodiles at Australia Zoo I had to capture out of the wild because people wanted them dead. They tried to shoot him. This bloke gave me quite a scare prior to catching him. I was in the mangroves at night on my own in far north Queensland, right in Acco's territory, and I was setting a net out for a little female. She was about 9.5 feet. Pretty soon, I got a V in the net. Yes, I hooked her up, and then snap, mangrove snapped, and my net started going upstream against the current. I caught up to it, grabbed it, and tied it round the front of the boat, thinking, yeah, I'll just pull it up, I've got the croc. The front of the boat started going under the water. I was losing control. I jammed the boat into reverse. It started pulling the bow of the boat under the water. I was taking in water. This croc was towing me against the current upstream. I was panicked. I hit idle and decided to cut the rope and let it go.
Now Acco is safe and sound at his new home at Australia Zoo.
And I can barely see a dark shape in front of me, so out in the bush you'd never pick it as a croc. And what? Oh! Woo! Imagine if your body was in that. What? You'd just go put and explode on impact.
Acco knows he's king of the zoo. He counts on power and size when he makes a strike.
Here we go. Look out in front there. See that movement? Here he comes. I got him. When Acco hits, he is easily the most powerful animal on the face of the earth. Oh. He's a big boy. Come on, Matthew. Come on. Have a look at him now. When I get down on his level, you can see the size of him. He's about 1 ton in weight and about 16 feet in length. His whole head weighs the same amount as my entire body. Woohoo! Thanks, Acco. Whoa! And that means get out of my territory. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Aggro. His name is short for aggression. And that's the perfect name for this bloke. He hits like a ton of bricks. He's quick, he's gnarly, and he never misses a trick, constantly changing his strategy to try and get his teeth into me. I caught him out of the bush, and he's never forgiven me for that. It took place in far north Queensland, I'd got him in my trap, but he was underwater. I never really knew what I had until I started hauling him up to the side of my boat. And as I got in closer and closer, he started whacking into the side of my boat. It split. Water started to come in. Suey, my dog, she took for the mangroves. I had to jump out as he came in the boat. I ploughed all of these mangrove branches in, trying to subdue him, give him something else to bite. I had a wild croc with his big head full of teeth, trying to take us all out. It was total chaos. Finally, I was able to get him back to my camp, but he didn't settle down. He was still angry. I had lines on his head trying to get a blindfold on, and he continued to try and kill me. He was too aggressive to release back into the wilderness, so we took him back and released him at my home, Australia Zoo. Nowadays, aggro strikes from every different angle to try and get me. He comes head on, but the worst one is when he comes side on. Oh, too close. That could have been a deadly strike. He never misses a beat, this bloke. And now let's see what happens when we throw a bit of tucker into the equation.
See, here he comes. He's like an Exocet missile. Come on, big boy. I see you, big boy. I see you. Yeah, man. Here, mate. Here, look at the food, not me. Look at the food. There's a good boy. Here.
I take great pride in the way I feed crocodiles. I go round their territory so they get to utilise their instincts, their hunting, their ambush techniques. It's good for them, but it's pretty hard on me. You gotta stay on your toes, because this bloke never misses a trick. He's always trying new cunning manoeuvres to grab me. Great for him. We try to mimic what happens in the wild. Here at Australia Zoo, we like to give patrons an education on crocodile feeding strategy, reproduction, exactly how they work in the Australian wilderness. I become the food source, and they just use their instincts to try and get me. But immediately before they hit, I give them a piece of food. Woo! What a kick. Is the pinnacle of reptilian success, a modern-day dinosaur.
I see you there. There's a good boy. Just get ready to run. He's lining me up for a strike. I saw you doing that. I see you, big boy. Come on, then. Come on, then. Come on, buddy. Come on. Here's a piece of food. Come on. Hit. Pull their food back into the water. Oh, he's mouthing, he's chomping the water. That's a territorial threat. He does not like me in his territory. Doesn't like me one iota. In fact, he hates me being in here. He loves his girls. He loves each and every one of them. See how he's showing me his back? That's a territorial thing. He's showing me his back, and what he's saying is, look how big I am. I'm the biggest male in this territory. See that? Inflating himself. And that's a warning to me. You want to come in, hang around in my territory? This is what you got to fight. He could disappear and go under the water, but he wants to threaten me. He's not hungry. He just doesn't want me here. Great. I'm out of here.
Terry, Bindi and I are up here in the Kimberleys of Western Australia because here is the home of the notorious Kimberley crocodiles. It was here where the most infamous and well-documented crocodile fatality in the world took place. And I want to break some of my own rules so as I can fully understand the true nature of the Kimberley crocodile.
Go. Nice big fat one. 8 foot, female.
And it doesn't take long before we're fair smack dab right on top of one.
Have a go at this one. See, he's got his mouth open. He's hunting fish, aren't you, mate? Hey, you're hunting fish. Nice sized croc, too.
Have a go at this, no fear. And another one. Spotlighting is the best way to see crocs, and they're all around us. What the crocodiles do is they use the tidal influence to come in with the high tide and then set up ambushes. You can see this bloke in the shallows with his mouth ajar. He's set up an ambush. He's ambushing fish. As the tide floods in, the crocodile leaves their mouth open. The trap is set. Long, penetrating teeth, 3,000 pounds per square inch, just waiting, sensing for the vibration of a fish to touch their mouth, then whammo! Jaws come together, kill the fish, and down she goes. Now's my chance to try and sneak up on it and push my boundaries. How's that? Show me this. You can see the way he uses his mouth, slightly ajar, water flowing through, movement receptors all the way around his head. Anything moves, strike. What a great start! Although a little scary to think that I can get this close. This is a bold croc. They're all bold crocs. Have a go at this. Here's a typical Kimberley crocodile for you. Hey? Mouth open. I'm like 10 feet from him, and he doesn't give a rip. He's just gonna sit there and continue to hunt fish with those huge, great penetrating teeth. You see the way he just slices down, grabs that food? How close will you let me get, mate? Is that close enough? It's about as close as I'd like to go, actually. Cool as a cucumber up here in the Kimberley. All right, mate. Good fishing. Happy fishing. And by crikey, I'm gonna get even closer to more crocs, sea snakes, and sharks. We're right off the edge of the continental shelf, and while the 5-star chef prepares a gourmet meal, I'm gonna get ready another meal for hungry sharks. So what I'm doing is basically tying this cord onto this frozen block of fish that we picked up at the Broome markets, so as I can get in nice and close to the reef sharks. Because it's my aim to demonstrate how they're pretty clever. Even in a feeding frenzy, they won't even bite my flesh. Theoretically speaking. So with me shark tucker all prepared, I put it into a plastic crate just in case there's a bigger shark waiting for me on the way down. My primary aim is the grey reef sharks, or the grey whalers as they're sometimes known. I'll also see black-tip reef sharks and plenty of white-tip reef sharks. Trick is to get down the anchor line before the sharks twig to what's going on. You certainly aren't going to beat these potato cod. They're all over me before I even hit the bottom. And they're going to be a bit of a nuisance from the start, because what happens with these big old potato cod is they block my view. I want to be able to see the sharks that are coming at me. And I tell you what, I think I've bitten off more than I can chew. Already, there's 20 to 30 grey whalers circling round me. As a precaution, I've bought a rescue diver and he's ready to go. Good on you, mate. So let's lift the lid and see what happens. Woohoo! Potato cod, straight into it. Now what's going to happen with the potato cod hitting that bait? It's going to spread the smell. And as soon as it ducks, the sharks just go ballistic. Look at this. They're ripping into it. That's going to spread the smell around everywhere. Here's a black-tip reefie. He's into it. Woo! Frenzy, straight up, straight away. Within minutes. This is making me nervous. A couple of these sharks got their fins down. They're obviously aggressive. And the food's turning them on. It'd be so easy to take a slice and a bite. And if I started bleeding under here, I reckon I'd be in a load of trouble. Blood in the water would be a cocktail for disaster. Have a go at the power and the lacerations that these sharks are putting in. They're hooking to that bait ball like it's going out of fashion. Here's a troublemaker if I've ever seen one. See that grey reefie? He's gonna give me some grief, this bloke. I can see it now. One of the biggest ones in the pack, and he had a demeanour about him. Bang! Woo! Well, I wouldn't say this is 100% success just yet. What I want to do is, I want to actually hang onto the bait and see if they can sense that I've got hold of it and they'll actually back off. That's my theory. We just got to get past the feeding frenzy stage. This shark is going to give me some grief, I can tell that. Oh, that didn't work. He just ripped it straight off. See the way they slice their head from side to side? Sharks, unlike crocodiles, have got a lacerating teeth system. They actually slice straight through their food. Looking. They're just all over me. Bang, here we go. And start slicing, mate. Oh, got to touch him. This is not something I'd recommend anyone should try, hand feeding them like that. When they come in that fast, it's very difficult for them to tell what's my hand and what's the flesh. Oh, tried to bite me on the hose. That one's really quick and freaky. Come on, sharks, come on, sharks. Get out of here, potato cod. You can see the potato cod make it hard. They block my vision. Some of these sharks are so switched on. Oh, see that? Oh, go on me feet, you little devil. Knock it off. Stick with the bait. Funny thing is, did you see how he didn't open his mouth even though I thought he was going to take my legs off? He didn't open his mouth. This cod, get out of here. Oh, he's into it. You want to think quick. Make a mistake and your hand's going to come off. But this is going great. This is going really good. Wish these cod would rack off, mate. I can't see. Woo! Ripping into it. Here comes another one. That's a black tip reef shark. You see the black tips on his fins. How many sharks have I got circling me? Check that grey whaler. Note that grey whaler. He's bad news, that one. He's all upset and angry, arching his back and his fins down, and he hits like a ton of bricks. Biggest one out here, too. You can have it, mate, you can have it. Here they come, look at them coming in. What they do is they get down current of the scent of all the fish in the water. As 1, 2, 3, and 4 fill up, another 10 hungry sharks will come in and replace it. Did you see that? Now, that was a great trait. I pushed the food at him, which was not normal. The shark backed off. That was excellent. These sharks have got such a huge mouth and they try to swallow the thing whole. Ooh, he's having a go at me, mate. This is not good. Get out of it. Did you see that? He had a swing at me. Doesn't get much closer than that. Here he comes again. Get out of here. This one's a danger. This shark is really naughty. He's an obvious bad egg. Righto, I'm out of food. It's about time I got out of here. One really, really bad grey reef shark. He's I'll bite anything that comes within range. Check this out again. What? Yo, get out and have a go at this. This shark really tried to nail me. All the others were pretty well managed. But this one, so naughty. So, I wouldn't say that was a complete success, but I wouldn't recommend anyone tries that at home. As well as a massive breeding colony of seabirds, the lacipedes are well renowned for one of the most ancient species of reptiles on our Earth. And we've come to have a look at mating green turtles. So he's joined with her, and she's having a bit of a struggle with it. And there's 2 other males that are just circling around. They want to get in on the mating action. velocipedes are vitally important to the critically endangered green turtles. These gorgeous animals have been hunted and their eggs plundered as nesting areas are destroyed.
Hey, sweetheart. Have a look at this girl. She looks like she's dead, but she's not. She's resting. She's absolutely exhausted. The beach is literally littered with turtles that are resting up, going through their mating procedures, and all these dark shadows are females. Dozens of them, just waiting, ready to come up on dark to go up and lay their eggs. This girl's just starting to wake up. You see she's got her eyes open. Covered in scratch marks all over her shell, and that's from mating. Mating's very, very rigorous. The blokes get very excited, and they actually fight over the females. And they've got spurs on their flippers to hang on once they lock onto the females, and that's what all those scratch marks are on her shell. There's probably, I don't know, 100 yards of beach, 50 tracks from turtles going up and nesting. And fresh, all fresh. Little turtle tracks, big turtle tracks, a couple of eggs. Oh, have a go at this. Look at this. These are pits. Oh, wow. Everywhere you look. Check this out. Eggs everywhere. The turtles are just nesting nest on nest. And some of these eggs, I'd presume, would actually get dug up as another green turtle lays her eggs. Have a go at this. Here's a problem that the green turtles are currently facing. See these birds here, these silver gulls? They're right above that booby. They never used to be here. They look like just seagulls, no big problem, but they're non-native here, and they're taking their toll on the juvenile turtles, which is really unfortunate. This is a sea snake hotspot. One of the reasons why is because it's hundreds of miles away from any land. There's a couple of sandy cays and that. What that means is the sea snakes don't get predated on by birds of prey. Let's get them.
And thank goodness I've got my good mate Bindi keeping an eye on me. She loves snakes, but here's one species that I'm not quite game to let her play with just yet. Snorkeling with them's good, but the depth is such that I can't stay down there long enough to fully appreciate these sea snakes. It's unlikely that this sea snake would have ever seen anybody in its life. So I'm gonna don the scuba gear and break every rule ever made about sea snakes. Whatever you see me do in a minute with these sea snakes, don't ever try it. If you leave them alone, they will never attack. What I'm trying to demonstrate here is just how placid they are. The old sea snake, it cops a real bad rap. You know, they're supposed to turn aggressive really quick and they can bite straight through your throat and all that kind of stuff. That's not true. Rightio, so I got two little beauties here with me right now. Look at this. Put my hand out to it, it tongue flicked and moved away. Let's try that again. Come on, mate. Look at my hand. It's gonna come in, check it out. Checking. And it moves away. That's incredible. They've got a great sense of smell. You can see that tongue come out just like a land snake. That's their sense of smell. My hand doesn't smell like anything that they can eat, and it doesn't seem that they're fearful of me. Probably never seen a human. And have a look at that flattened tail. That gives them the speed underwater. They're a very inquisitive species. And this one's hunting, searching, probing. He's looking for food. Righto, let's take this one step further. Please don't ever mimic what you see me do with snakes. I've been studying them for years. I know more about snake posturing than probably anybody else in the world. Look how inquisitive this one is. That's the technique. Don't show any fear. Let them go through. Let them go on their way. But I want to take it beyond. I want to push the boundaries here. I want to kiss one on the lips. Whoa, he hated that. Come on, mate. Nah, he's not going to allow me to kiss him either. mate. Little kiss, little kiss. Nah, I hope I have better luck with Terry. The rugged Western Australian coastline has deep gashes carved into it over years and years of heavy erosion. And the peaks are cores of ancient volcanoes, and the river systems are chock-a-block with salties. We're gonna head upriver on an early morning flight to check out the crocs' behaviour when they encounter humans for the first time. Beautiful morning, fantastic morning. So what we're looking for is crocodiles, mate. And this is the way to do it. We'll get to see crocodiles that have never been seen before. In such a remote, isolated place, if you can imagine, crocs rarely see people. This place has got the largest tidal movement I've ever seen and exposes great mud banks. So what the croc's got to do is either go in or out with the tide, or just sit up there on the mud and enjoy life and relax. Oh, beautiful jabiru. Or black-necked stork, they're often called.
Well, have a look at this bloke in the ox pub here.
Yep, here's my target. Here's what I'm looking for. Oh, and it's a little beauty too. I'd estimate him to be around about a 6-footer. Perfect. Good size to start with. Here's an animal that wouldn't have the capacity to kill me. Could do a big number on me, but he won't kill me. So I'm gonna leave the chopper in the air, drop down into the thick, deep, primeval ooze, and push my luck. Woohoo! Let's hit the water, croc style. Just gonna take a little stick, because if push comes to shove, I really want to flick a top jaw onto this bloke and test him right out. Let's test him for territorial reasons right now. Ball's under. He's not going me, he's moved away. This gives me the opportunity to push him with the stick. You gonna bite? You gonna bite? He's not biting. This is great. Did you see that? I nudged him on the snout with the stick. And as long as he doesn't bite me underwater, which he doesn't, I'm gonna try for a top jaw rope next time. This is pretty good. He allowed me to get super closer than I could ever get in Queensland back in my home state. He's a Kimberley croc after all. But let's put him to the test. Let's give him the ultimate test. Let's see how he reacts to a top jaw rope. He's just gonna sit there, doesn't care about the chopper and not really concerned about me. You can see his mouth open. That's a sign of aggression. This is my territory. Yes, hook up, top jaw ropes on. Here we go. Somehow, I've got to get him up the mud bank, and it's thick. This stuff is like 6 foot of grease. And he's putting up a bit of a fight, bit of a thrash, not too bad. I think he knows what he's got. I'm 6 foot, he's 6 foot. I'm 210 pounds, and he'd be about 67. Come on, mate, come on. Now that I've got him top-jawed, let's see if I can pin him down. Right, go, Steve-O. Woo! Crikey! If he was ever going to bite me, that was the opportunity, and he did it. But I'm not taking any chances. I push his head away because he could slice me right in the head. I just got to hang on to him. Oh, he's bit me. That's it. I've been bitten, but it was a simple nip. Get off me, leave me alone. All he did was a retaliatory nip, nothing but a nip. And all he wants to do is move away. How's that for pushing it to the limit? How's that for taking it beyond all the boundaries? I've top jaw roped him twice. I tried to nail him, wrestle him, hang on to him. It's just too greasy. And he nipped me and then moved away. All I gotta do now is flick the top jaw rope off. Job done. Perfect scenario. Yow! He's given me a bite, just a crunch, a retaliatory bite. Woohoo! Nothing to worry about. He had the opportunity when he just nipped me to actually lacerate, tear right into me, take a huge big chunk out, rip veins and bones. But he didn't. All he did was chomp. Yow!
What a classic. What an absolute classic. Beautiful little croc. Probably up around the 6 foot mark, about the same size as me. Probably only half my weight. And he whooped me. He absolutely beat me up. I come out second best. There's no way I could have grabbed him under the water. He's just too big, too beefy. And he had heaps of stamina. So I just got a little top jaw rape on him. And he still whooped me. He still beat me up. Unbelievable. I thought, oh, once I got him in the top jaw, I got him under control, no worries at all. No way, mate. No way. I couldn't hold him. I just could not hold him. How's when he opened his mouth, like right alongside my face, I'm like, oh no, this is gonna hurt. Oh.
Our next stop is the scene of a very tragic crocodile fatality where a beautiful American tourist named Ginger Meadows died. It's a story that hands out a warning to every single person that goes into croc territory. No matter how beautiful the area seems to be, don't go in the water.
So this is the Prince Regent River, and this is it right here, King's Cascade. Hard to imagine that this spectacular place is the scene where a very gruesome crocodile attack and fatality took place back in the 80s. A beautiful American 24-year-old, Sheila, came in here with her mates, anchored up just out here, maybe in a little bit closer. And they decided they want to swim around and climb up on King's Cascade. And why wouldn't you, mate? Have a look. It's a pretty tranquil sort of a place. Have a go at this. Check out the welcoming committee. There's a croc right in front of the waterfall. Right in front of the cascade. Amazing. What a dangerous place to go swimming. And look how cocky this croc is. Just like the other Kimberley crocodiles. Very naughty. Not very scared of people nor boats. So as you can see, there's a fair few crocodiles around. They hadn't seen any in here or certainly weren't worried about them. And the two girls were just frolicking around out in the water. You up for a swim, mate?
This is exactly where the crocodile was, though. That's the very ledge where this all took place.
Yeah, but there's a 7.5 footer sitting there. And unless it's a female, yeah, we'll just stay with me, mate, and we'll go for the ledge. This is what they did. They just jumping in, frolicking around.
Never do this. Huge risk.
Let's go, mate. Go straight to the ledge. It's back against the ledge. How you feeling?
I'm really nervous. And this rock is really slippery. Every place where you've got water coming down, it's like glass.
Really hard to try and climb. And here's the scenario. Shout came from up there. Crocodile, get out of the water. They got to here, they're in waist-deep water, and here's this croc, pops up right in front of it. He's just sitting there.
It was at that point, one of the girls took her shoe off, and instinctively she threw it at the crocodile. Hit it right on the head, and the croc hesitated because the prey animals were not acting like prey. They were being aggressive. And when the croc hesitated, that's when the other girl made the fatal mistake.
They panicked. She struck out for dry land over there, 25 metres away.
The crocodile moved in suddenly, and at the surface of the water steamed so fast that he sent foam up, and the people from up on the cliff could see everything as it happened.
Swimming like that, crocs come up from behind, clamped onto her, and just pulled her straight back down under the water. Came back up and gestured about up to her waist, silent, and then just... That was the end of it.
That was the greatest risk I've ever let my wife take, and for good reason. If we can tell the story, then perhaps the tragic loss of life will save tens of thousands of lives. We're gonna take the chopper up. We gotta get into more of these remote gorges and canyons. And by the look of the country, when you get above, up over the water, you think to yourself, crikey, this couldn't support human life. It's so dry and barren. I'm taking my last look at the mysterious, magical gorge country in the incredible Kimberleys as we head back to the Crocodile coastline. The tides drop perfectly.
Whoa, have a go at this one in the shallows. Woo, he's going off, throwing up the big rooster tail. You can see how they use their feet, then when they get agitated, they kind of jump up, use their tail, spray going everywhere. He's in a hurry. 9-footer. He's out of here. Dolphins, it's dolphins. Woo, did you see that? Chased the crocodile right out of the water. I bet you that croc was thinking, wow, I'm about to get taken by a shark. And there's plenty of those. This place is alive. Sharks, dolphins, crocs, have a go at the size of this good-looking Sheila. Check this out. He's sitting right there. Got a good slide going straight down to him. Not even scared of the chopper, mate. That is getting close to crocs. That's amazing. This is too good, mate. This is too good an opportunity to miss. Here's a big croc that does have the capacity to kill and partially consume me. Let's put it to the test. Woo! This is not good. That was bad. Did you see that? While I had my profile low in the mud, she just came straight at me like I was a food source. I had to stand up. See, I'm standing proud. I'm standing upright. Now she's just gonna walk past instead of straight at me. This is pushing it to the limit. Here, I'm breaking my own rules. If she has a go at me, there's not a thing I can do about it. Gotta be 11, almost 12 feet in length, and I'd say, judging how robust the animal is, that it's probably a big old adult female. Have a go at the teeth on it. Now I'm gonna push it to the max. It's seen that I can go upright. I believe, sincerely believe, that I can get closer, that it doesn't see me as a food source. This is pushing the Kimberley crocs. And that's it, she's decided, nah, I'm not a food source. She's gonna slowly head to the water. Very slowly, I might add. Never seen a human, never seen a helicopter in her life. So together, let's go for the water. Here is the most ancient of all animals, surviving the dinosaur era. And here's why. They're smart, mate. They're clever. They're opportunistic. She feels that she won't have a chance with taking me out on land. Let's go to the water. Let's get this animal into my territory. And as soon as she feels a little bit of depth, watch this, she's out of here. Woo-hoo! With a wake and all. Woo! This is not a good place to be. Up to me armpits in water, extreme danger. If there's a big male here, by crikey, I could be in a lot of trouble. Woo-hoo! Mission accomplished. Back into the safety of the chopper, and as we head back to the true north, I think to myself, crikey, what have I gained? I can see now with my own eyes that the Kimberley crocs, yes, they're bold, yes, they're cocky. They do have a slightly aggressive nature about them, but I pushed the small crocs, I pushed a big old adult female, and they never took me out. One thing's for sure, whether you're here in the Kimberley or anywhere else in the world, you just don't swim with big adult male crocodilians. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. This is a skink's trap. Ah, here he is. Look, look, look. Come here, mister. Come here, little one. Oh, look at him. Look at this. What a little bluey. This is a blue-tongued skink, a blue-tongued lizard. And when he gets angry, he sticks his mouth open and he's got a big blue tongue. Blue tongues are one of the more common skinks in Australia, and this is what I call a centralian blue tongue. You can see that beautiful coloration, the orange bands on the brown and grey. That helps him blend into the spinifex. He's got the cutest little nose there, look, he's got a little yellow nose.
There's his blue tongue, great eyes, and they've got that band coming back from their eyes. That's like a bandit to help camouflage. They'll sit in the spinifex and they'll wait any grasshoppers, insects, any invertebrates come along, whack, they'll grab it, chomp, chomp, chomp. Nice, big, strong jaws, chew on it and swallow it down using their blue tongue to help force the food down. These guys are both insectivorous and herbivorous. They'll eat any of the flowers, those ephemeral flowers, they'll eat those, and insects just love them. And this is his house, in here in the spinifex. Watch this, he'll just cut straight through the spinifex, straight back home. Away you go, little fella. Notice the way he blends in there? Quick, 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 I'll get you. I'll get you.
We've run out of road in this direction, so it's time for the four-wheel drive motorbike. I've spent all my life exploring and travelling this gorgeous red centre with my mum and dad. This place will always represent the ultimate sensation of freedom. And like the Aboriginal peoples that traversed this land on foot before me, my parents instilled in me that any tracks I leave, any habitat I disturb, should disappear in hours. My four-wheeler is an excellent vehicle to traverse the distances that would normally take days on foot. I live for this land and its wildlife. And here we go! This is exactly what I'm looking for.
Just the glint of sun on scales is enough for Steve to spot a snake.
Woo! It's brown. It's a common brown. Here's an Eoperla. The common brown snake is the second most venomous snake in the world. They haven't got huge big fangs. They're relatively short, but by crikey, they've got toxic venom. Super toxic. And they're rodent specialists. What they'll do is locate rats and mice with their forked tongue, whack, hit, venomate, swallow them down. At the moment, I couldn't touch him. There's absolutely no way I could put my hand anywhere on this snake. He'd tag me before I could get my hand away quick enough. Beautiful animal, and he's a ruler. He's a predatory ruler out here. There wouldn't be an animal, a carnivore, a predator big enough to take him out. Let's see if I can just move him a bit. Come on, mate. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Quick. These guys make me sweat. Make me sweat bullets. Come on, mate. Look at this, I'm shaking. Hang on. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Oh, oh. Watch the way he carves through this grass. Oh, here he goes, look out. Woo, they're quick, they slide through this grass like it's going out of fashion. Woo, he's got his neck flattened out. Come on, mate. Hook, hook, hook. Quick, whippy. Hey, hey. Oh. Oh, he's a nice specimen. What'd he be? Around about 5 feet in length. And he's on a mission. Just spread out a bit. Come on, mate. Very distinct orange spots on his belly. That picks a brown snake from any other species. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, hey. They've got the ability to come back up over their own body, the brown snake. Really quick, hard, fast striking, often repetitively striking. They are one of the sleekest animals out here. Really sleek. Move through this grass like fluid motion. Look at the shine coming off his head. Look at that. Beautiful animal. Oh, you're all right. Beautiful.
This is the standard brown snake position. Going up into that S, they mean business. Deadly dangerous snake, not to be mucked with. You're all right, buddy. We've had enough of each other. I reckon it's time we just split up and leave him alone. On the escarpment. Check him out. Have a look at him. What a spectacular animal. The thing I've learnt many, many years ago is how keen their eyesight is. So what we'll have to do is, I'm not going to look him right in the eye. Let's just see if we can sneak over. Just get over there. He's big enough that I won't represent a predator. As long as I don't look him in the eye, just keep my profile low, we should be able to get nice and close. Getting close to wildlife is an art form. He's onto me. You can see him tongue flicking, and he's looking straight at me. Yep, he's onto me. He's curling his tail up. He's big enough that I don't represent too much of a problem. He's starting to move away. I'm close enough. I'm getting real close. This is great. Here's the king. Here's the king of the Outback. The largest predator out here. Have a look at his legs. Big, powerful legs. They can run across the escarpments, out into the sand dunes, and hit reptiles like they're going out of fashion. With all the poo that Terry and I have collected, we've noticed that they are virtually a reptile specialist. Have a look at this. Have a look on his back. Right there, look. Just there. You can see that cut, that laceration? That's from fighting with other male lizards. The other ones, have a look towards the base of his tail there. Just down there, look. You can see distinct bite marks. Oh, sorry, mate. I overstepped it and he tail whipped me, which is fair enough. You're all right, mate. You're all right. This is his territory and his domain. And if he wants to tail whip me, that's just fine. I just want to look at your scar tissue, buddy. He'd be around about 5 feet in length. These goannas are known to grow up and over 8 feet in length. And in the old days, I used to think that they'd bite like a land crocodile. However, I've learnt, and only recently, that they don't. Even though they'll grab a reptile and lacerate it so hard and fast that a snake's dead in an instant, they don't bite people. If I try and touch him, he'll just tail whip me. Here, mate. Just like that. Spectacular. Have a look at this. He's going home. Straight into his cave. Perfect. Ooh, you're hissing. How's the way he's turned and facing me? Listen to this. Are you upset? Are you upset? Isn't he cocky? Hasn't he got a sense of arrogance about him? They're an incredible animal. Woo! Yes, the Perentie. Largest predator out here, you little beauty.
This has to be one of the most gorgeous little reptiles in the entire Red Center.
Have a look at this little beauty. He's got that really rapid tongue action, pulls him back into the mouth. Oh, look at that. He just sits in that position on an ant trail. Whack, there he goes again, and swallows them down. They'll only eat when their body temperature is about the right warmth. Too cold, too hot, they'll go for the shade, or they'll just sit and wait to warm up. You can see how tubby this little one is. Nice and fat, good condition, brilliant condition. It's been good times. If the ants flourish, the thorny devils flourish.
And what a weird and wonderful way to camouflage.
Australia's arid zone species are in great danger. of extinction. In fact, introduced feral pests like foxes, cats, goats, unnatural burning, overgrazing, habitat destruction have all taken their toll on the red centre. There's already been a lot of extinctions, like the lesser bilby. We've got to look after what's left.
We have to be incredibly careful spotlighting. Some animals run and others just sit. We're very conscious of nocturnal animals' tolerance of light. It's a marla. I think it sees Steve. It's eating the spinifex. Look how it holds that piece of spinifex in its paw. They're incredibly dexterous animals. The marla would have to be the most critically endangered animal in Australia. There's only a very few left, and they're only found in one region of Central Australia. They've got that beautiful furry coat, perfect for cool desert nights. This has been the highlight of my whole trip. The most endangered mammal in Australia.
Crikey, they need our help. We've got to look after them. We've got to understand what's killing our arid zone mammals.
Hey! Woo! Have a look at this! What a steamer! Come on, mate. Have a look at this. King Brown. And it's a ripper too. They don't get much bigger than this. It's a steamer. Have to be nearly 7 feet. Actually, they do get a little bigger than this. This is about as big and chunky as I've ever seen them. And it's a beauty. Look at the shimmer, the sheen. Beautiful coloration. And look at the tracks he's making in the sand. He's up here catching the last part of the sun. He wants to get down there into the spinifex, back down to his home. The King Brown is actually a member of the black snake family. Any of these dull brown snakes that we're going to be finding throughout the red centre should be considered as dangerous. Normally the King Brown flattens his neck out and has a few strikes. This one's big enough to know the power that he's got. And he's not that worried about me. I'm just kind of at one with him, letting him slide through my hand. Look at the tracks he's making here, look at this. With his belly scales. And you can see how fat he is. Being a member of the black snake family, as far as venom's concerned, he's not in the top 10, but have a look at this. Woo! He's got a big head, big venom glands, and the King Brown has a lot of venom. It's pretty toxic. You take a big hit off this, and they're gonna whack a lot of venom in. And the thing with the King Brown and other black snakes is the bite gets necrotic. It starts to rot. What a champion. Let's just let him go on his way. He's going straight for the spinifex. He knows where he wants to go.
The last stage of our journey, and we move into the heart of the red center, Ayers Rock, or Uluru, rising dramatically out of the plains.
This is a great retreat for all species. And they put kangaroo warning signs. They like people to drive slow down when they're driving so as they don't hit into beautiful rooskies. This is home to some endangered species as well. Black-footed rock wallabies and the marla, the rufous hair wallaby.
When you look at this rock, Can you feel it? Awesome.
You see the people going up the climb there? They look like ants.
Some people feel the need to climb this giant rock, but it really is a moving, spiritual experience just to be in its presence.
Interesting how the Aborigines, the traditional owners, they prefer it if no one went on the climb. It's in the afternoon that you really get to appreciate the changing moods of Uluru. As it changes its mood, it changes its colour. I love this land, its people, and our wildlife. And we're committed to the protection and the enthusiasm of conservation of this land we call Australia.
Our journey to the red centre, the spiritual heart and soul of the oldest landscape on Earth.